Here we go. Right, are you ready for this, guys? Whoa, because I am absolutely fuming. We're going to see if I can get through this without saying any sort of swear words at all, because I am absolutely fuming at every single player, management, everything. Everything today, other than Brewster scoring. Obviously, it's great to see Brewster scoring after 2 minutes. Great finish as well. It acrobatic finish straight above the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper possibly could have done better, but struck it really well in the back of the net. But right, that's the only positive thing from this game. I put the exact same thing on. That's the title of this video. We'll be lucky to stay up at this rate on Twitter. And somebody wrote back, "We created loads of chances. They just took their chances and we didn't." What? We got absolutely dominated in this game. We got ripped apart. And I mean, proper, that could have been 7-1. They could have scored 7 goals against us today. And Fulham scored 7 past them without reply. Absolutely embarrassing. And tonight, I'm going to put it down to a lot of players had bad games today. A lot. But what I'm going to do is finally say that Slav was absolutely complete to blame. Not just for today's game. I've been keeping quite quiet for a while because I know that Slav's got a fantastic CV with scoring lots of goals with teams, getting them promoted. He doesn't have those players at his disposal. He doesn't here. And we brought in Morgan Gibbs-White, brilliant player. He is a Slav player. And Dye, fantastic player. Not playing much at the moment, and really didn't do a lot when he came on, in all honesty. They're the only players that I would call Slav players. If you don't have the players to play the system, don't play the system. How can you be playing Brewster on the right? I know he scored today, but he's done it again. It was poor against Forest. He weren't that much better today, but he scored his goal, which was great. We all wanted to see that. I think Moose playing in as one player, one striker with 3 attacking players behind him is actually. I think that actually works. I think that's good for Moose. Billy Sharp doesn't play well in that position. I think Billy Sharp likes having someone up front with him that he can play off. It's just totally wrong. This team can't defend with 4 defenders. It can't. I don't know what's going on. And the worst thing, and to add insult to injury, Sky Sports haven't put up the highlights on the website, so I can't go and even check what happened with some of the goals, because I like to, obviously, I go off a bit of memory, I go off notes that I've written, but then I like to watch the goals and watch the chances just to kind of get in my mind who was at fault for things, who did really well, who did bad, who could have improved, how the goal went in, was the keeper to play. I like to watch all these things, but none of them available to me. So I'm going to try and go through it as best I can. But I've had my rant. Let's get into the game and let's talk about the little things that had happened in the game. So obviously, 2 minutes into the game, not even that, it was about 75 seconds, something like that. Brewster scores. Billy goes down the right, leans into the defender. The defender kind of goes to tackle him and takes. I don't even think he took the ball. Took Billy Sharp. Billy gets back up, clips an absolute wonderful ball into the box for Brewster to attack. And the thing is, we all knew that eventually it would come because we know that Brewster's got a fantastic shot on him. That's not the worry, really, with Brewster. It's his all-round play for me that is worrying. He took his goal really well, like I said, on the volley. Like I said, keeper could have done a little bit better, as it was kind of just to his straight down the middle of the goal. If he got his hand there, he could have quite easily saved it. But at the same time, it was a fantastic strike. Great to see Brewster score. Buzzing, absolutely buzzing for that. I think around the 10th minute, something like that, Blackburn were denied that penalty. It probably was a penalty in all fairness, but we got away with that one. We just carried on letting them come on to us. From that free kick that was on the kind of opposite side to the camera, ball was fizzed in. Absolutely, they were putting some great balls into the box from free kicks and corners and stuff. Real pace on the ball, like going high and dipping. They were really difficult to defend, but we just didn't bother defending them. 20th minute, great ball into the box. I think it's Lenihan. It just completely wasn't marked. Didn't get anything on it, but Olsen kind of came out a little bit. And the thing is, Olsen's about 6'5", 6'6" or whatever. And he looked smaller. Like Lennon's jumping up to head it, misses it. Olsen's getting lower. Like, what are you doing? Come out, punch it. It's fine. You can punch it. It's not difficult to punch a ball. If you don't feel comfortable catching it, come out and punch it. It's fine. But he was nowhere near the ball. Like, I'm not just blaming Olsen because the defense was shocking. Again, I'm not quite sure whose man he was at the time, but the defense were nowhere to be seen. He's right in the middle of the goal. Something similar happened in the Forest game when the ball came across the box and they just couldn't get that foot on the ball to put it in the back of the net. No marking. Absolutely shocking. 27th minute, Bash, last-ditch tackle on Kadra. And it was just like this the whole way through. Bash, it was Bash against the world today. I don't know where Egan was for half of these, but Bash was constantly last man. And at certain times, he looked like he was getting hammered and it was all Bash's fault. But Bash is the one that was left all on his own, constant one-on-ones, constant 3-on-2s. And Basham was the one taking the brunt of these attacks. And yeah, Bash might have been at fault for I think it was one goal. But what can you do when he's all on his own at the back for most of the time? 28. I've written down here 28 minutes, really open at the back and the midfield. They were just running straight through the middle. And then 37th minute, Kadra scored the goal, deflected goal. He's running at our defence. We're nowhere near him. We're not closing him down. We're not stopping him from shooting. He's got a free rein to have a shot. And don't get me wrong, I think Olsen possibly would have saved this if it didn't take the deflection off Egan. But it took the deflection. It ended up in the back of the net. And I actually felt at that point, we didn't deserve that. But at the same time, Blackburn probably did deserve it. Then 38th minute, I've written down here, 𝐍𝐸𝐶, awful cross straight to the goalkeeper from a great position. And it was on the right-hand side. It was coming into the box and you're like, right, what's he going to do? Is he going to smash it across the face of the goal for someone to tap in? Is he going to have a shot? Is he going to come inside on his left and find someone or have a shot? But no, he just kind of side-footed it towards the 6-yard area. And the keeper were like, thanks for that. Appreciate that. You were in a really good position there, and I appreciate that you just passed the ball straight into my hands. Half time, and I thought Blackburn had hammered us. Really, it did seem like it with them having so much possession in our area. And if the possession stats were like how much possession they were in our half and how much we were in their half, it would have been completely in Blackburn's favour. However, it said 60%. Sheffield United, 40% Blackburn. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's true. It completely doesn't seem true. I would have thought it would be true, but it's just defence and midfield just passing it sideways, backwards, sideways, back. We're not creating anything. We're barely creating a sausage. And let's be honest, Blackburn weren't the best defensive side in the world, but we can't take our chances. We're not creating good chances, but when we do create good chances, we're not taking them. But yeah, anyway, we're going to the second half. Literally a minute into the game, Fleck dawdling in the 18-yard box, not even on the edge, in the 18-yard box has the ball taken off him. Not a great start to the half. 56 minutes in, Billy Sharp one-on-one with a keeper after a fantastic ball from Fleck. This is the only good thing Fleck did in this game. Picked the ball up, and I've seen Fleck do this not hundreds of times, but a lot of times in his Sheffield United career, where he picks the ball up kind of on the left and then just bends it round the back of the defence. And normally it is to Billy Sharp. And Billy Sharp takes it down, and it was a pretty standard save for the goalkeeper, maybe just slightly left of the goalkeeper's left foot. And he made quite a comfortable save, let's be honest. Billy Sharp should be putting these in the back of the net. Let's be honest, Billy Sharp's got a lot of strings to his bows. He is very strong for his size. He knocks people about. He has got the brains. He's got the movement. He's got the finishing. But right now, he's not got that finishing. He's got everything else, but he does not have that finishing. He hasn't scored an open play goal for, I'm not sure, a while. And really, he's missed a lot of one-on-ones. He missed that one. He missed one against Derby at home. He missed one away at Bournemouth. He's missed quite a few one-on-ones recently. They're not all been kind of really, really easy chances, but they've been quite easy chances, in all honesty. And the reason why I've made such a big deal about this, you probably know if you've watched the game, that 2 minutes later, they went down the other end and scored. So it's gone from Billy Sharp, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, could be making it 2-1 Blades. No. Keeper makes a great save, and then it's straight the other end. And this is what annoys me the most. It is straight the other end and in the back of the net. Now, how it happened was they played a ball in behind Egan on the left-hand side. And Egan, he runs with like his arms like this. And he was just didn't know where the ball was. He was like, oh, it's been played behind me. Oh, well, how do I get to that? Oh, and then they're away. I think it was Poveda on the wing from Leeds, obviously, had to be. And he played a lovely ball into the front post. And this is what I was talking about Bash. Bash didn't quite get there to his, but I'm saying quite because I love Basham to bits. But he didn't get to Brereton Diaz. He should have done. He shouldn't have let him get in front of him, but he did. He put it in the back of the net. Norwood was also there, so Norwood could have easily got himself into a better position and stopped that cross from reaching Brereton Diaz, but he didn't. You've got to blame Egan for not cutting it out in the first place or letting it get in behind him. You've got to blame Bash for not getting there, and Norwood should have been in a better position. And a lot of people have been saying it's not just the defence, because when you play four at the back, you need defensive midfielders to drop in and defend. And we don't do that. And the reason why we don't do that is because we've been so used to playing three centre-backs that the defensive midfielders don't feel like they need to do any defending. It's like, oh, yeah, we've got three centre-backs back there. We've got two wing-backs, three centre-backs. And a lot of the time, since Norwood's been here at least, and Fleck for most of the time, we have been having three centre-backs, two wing-backs. And when we're defending, we defended with five rather than four or even three at times. And we just keep getting caught on the break constantly. And that was on the break. And then I wrote down here, between 58 minutes and 67 minutes, getting hammered. And it did feel like that. They absolutely run rings round us. They ran through us, really, not rings round us. They just ran through us. And we couldn't do anything about it. The ball, they were running with the ball really well. They were direct. And we just couldn't deal with it. All game, pretty much. 67th minute, I've put Morgan Gibbs-White, poor through ball to Sharp. He got in an absolutely fantastic position. All he had to do was lay it on a plate for Sharp, one-on-one. He might have missed it again, let's be honest. But that ball was way too heavy. And really today, with all the rain that came down, the ball was constantly holding up. So you hit a long ball along the ground, it'll run on and then stop perfectly. And the fact that he put such a whack on that ball when all it needed was a little tickle through to Sharp, really poor from Gibbs-White. And then I've got another one a minute later. Morgan Gibbs-White deflected cross over the bar. It could have gone anywhere, that. He put the ball across the box, took a deflection off the centre-back's leg, and then looped over the bar. Again, another one that's not quite gone our way. And then a minute later, they score again. Now this, I can't add too much analysis on this. if you call it analysis, because I was up shouting at Olsen, and I was I was just watching the parry that he made. I wasn't really thinking about how it got there, or that's what I normally do when there's when the replays are there. I watch how it got to him, who could have kind of cut it out, how it ended up in the back of the net, and it got to I think it was Brereton Diaz on the left, had a shot straight at Olsen. Now, straight at Olsen. I could not say that more. Straight at Olsen. All he needed to do, get his knee down, get his hands there, take all the pace off the ball, and then pick it up. I'm not saying that you need to stop it and it can't move. Like, get down low, stop it, don't let it go anywhere else. And he just absolutely fumbled it straight to their player, then dived out, missed him, and then he just rolled it into the goal. Like, if the defense isn't playing well, you need a good goalkeeper behind you. And if I was Slav, I would put I'd put Fotheringham in there. I'd put League One Wes in the net for the next game, because loads of people saying, oh, you can't blame him for this, you can't blame him for that. And no, you can't blame him for shots that he can't do anything about. But when he's got shots straight at him and he fumbles it straight back to their player, yeah, you can't stick up for him for that. Shocking. And that's how it finished, 3-1. I've written a few more notes. Norwood with that bad tackle, that it was cynical, but obviously, unless you're on that pitch, you don't know how you would feel in that situation. I'd probably fly in with a tackle or two as well. Frustrating. In the 75th minute, though, Moose did have a very well played ball into him, and then he should have put the ball into the back of the net, shouldn't he? Let's be honest. Another one where the keeper saved that. Shouldn't have even been a thing. He should have been putting that in the back of the net, no problem at all. But I think it was that one where the keeper saved it. It came back out to Sharp. He tried to hit it. He didn't quite get enough on it. Then I think Moose had another shot, and then it ended going out to Morgan Gibbs-White, smashes the post. You just couldn't write it. And that was the chance where it's like, yeah, definitely not getting anything out of this game today. Not that I thought we would at 3-1 down. But those are the sort of things that happen when it's not your day. But let's be honest, Blackburn had loads and loads more chances after that. It would just constantly come in. It was constantly. It was just floods and floods of Blackburn attacks, and we couldn't do anything about it. We just kept getting caught on the attack, on the break, and we can't do that to other teams. We really struggle to catch teams on the break, and I wonder why that is. Oh yeah, because we've got zero pace in this team. Even Moose is not that quick anymore because of his injuries and stuff, and I think he's only sometimes Moose is going at 70% because he's in fear of getting injured. So yeah, we've been left with no from Wilder's reign, we've been left with no attacking creativity, been left with no pace. This team can only play one way. This team can only play three centre-backs, which Basham, Egan and Ben Davies would be three cracking centre-backs. Probably the best three centre-backs since Jack O'Connell's got injured. But we don't play that way. Bogle would be a lot better in a right wing-back, not at right-back, because he can't defend to save his life. Stevens, I don't even know who Stevens is anymore. I don't know what has happened to Ender Stevens and who's taken his place, because Ender Stevens, shocking yet again. Anyway, let's run quickly through the team. Olsen, shocker. Stevens, shocker. Gave away so many cheap balls. It's unbelievable. Just passing the ball. Constant crosses to nobody where you can see he's got his head down and he's just trying to put it into an area. He's never trying to find somebody in the box. It's constantly from deep, crosses into the box that don't find anybody. Like, I'd understand if they were firing balls into the box for big, massive target men. We don't have a target man other than Ollie McBurney. And he was on the bench today, but he didn't come on. Probably a good reason for that as well. Egan, shocking. Had a few bad games now. And to have the ball passed behind him and he's like, oh, I don't know where that ball is. Shocking, mate. Absolutely appalling. Now, Bash made a few mistakes today, but also Bash was fantastic. Brought the ball out again well. Last-ditch tackles, again, two in a row. Like Bash, I thought Bash was fantastic for 70% of this game. And the things that were his fault, yeah, he could have done better on the goal for the second one. But he was completely exposed by Egan, by Stevens, by Bogle, all flying forward. And I know we were trying to get back into the game, but at the same time, you can't have everybody flying up front. Like, we're not playing under Chris Wilder anymore. We're not doing that. And really, Chris Wilder did it more controlled. Like, I know we were flying men upfield all the time, but we did it in a controlled way. Bogle, shocker, had an awful game today for me. Really, really bad. Seemed like every time he got the ball, he was going to lose it. I thought that he was going to lose it every time he got the ball. Norwood, I thought he had an okay first half, but in the second half, when he had tired legs, crossfield balls for days that just got nowhere near any of our men. More often than not, it were almost like he had a blue and white shirt on and he would just pass into one of his mates. Shocking, Norwood. Fleck got brought off before Norwood. That just tells you exactly the story of Fleck's game. Other than that ball into Sharp that Sharp missed the one-on-one with, Fleck had a shocking game. Morgan Gibbs-White seems like the only player that's trying to make things happen, but it wasn't happening for him today for the most part. But he was trying. Brewster, great finish, but other than that, didn't really offer much. 𝐍𝐸 may as well have not been on the pitch. I don't think that's not his position anymore for me. Play him instead of Fleck. Bring in, I don't know, Luke Freeman or someone who's more attack-minded, because Osborne just cuts backwards every time. He's not got a right foot, so it's always got to be on his left foot. And he either puts the ball into the box or he goes backwards. There's nothing else. Like, you see Gibbs-White going inside, outside, trying this, trying that. Osborne is just a defensive midfielder / left back that's playing in an advanced area and he doesn't know what he's doing going forward. Sharp, he did okay, but he missed that golden chance, which would have put us 2-1 up, and this game would have been completely different. Would have still probably drawn it, but at least would have been up 2-1 in the second half. Oh, that was a mouthful. Bogle, for me, I know we've already spoken about Bogle, but Baldock has to come in for Bogle. Bogle, awful player. He's okay going forward when he's confident, but when he's not, he's pointless. He's absolutely pointless. Mousse came on and, missed a good chance. And Dye came on, didn't do a hell of a lot, in all honesty. So that is the long and short of it. I know I've been going on for a long time, which I apologise, but that was this game. I am absolutely fuming about this game. Fuming. And I'm going to be honest. I think it's now Slav's fault. And the main reason why I keep saying this is because you just can't play. You can't play this way with these players. You just can't. We don't have the right play. Osborne is playing completely out of position. Morgan Gibbs-White, I don't actually know where his actual position is. I think he's playing in a position that he actually wants to be playing in. But Sharp doesn't play well in this formation. And Dye, I'm not really sure what position and Dye is best, because obviously he's still a young lad. I don't actually think Morgan Gibbs-White is a right mid, but it seems like a lot of the time he is playing, or he was playing before Brewster came in, on that right-hand side. Now he's kind of more in the middle. Maybe he's asked to play more in the middle. Brewster playing on the right wing, no idea why. Norwood and Fleck are shocking, but the fact that we've brought in Horahan, who got brought off, and I can't see him getting any more minutes unless we're winding the clock down until January. Hope he gets sent back. Gediora just undergone an operation, so he's not going to be playing for the near future at least. So the players that we've brought in, one's not good enough, the other one's having an operation. Who else have we got? Osborne. Osborne can go defensive midfield. I'm absolutely fine with that. But then we struggle in advanced areas. We've got, what do we do? Do you play Ollie Burke? Oh my God, we're back to talking about Ollie Burke. Oh my God! Right, let's get this this video done. Hal seems to think 7 points off players. Yeah, I can't say it. If I say anything, I'll be in big trouble. I just feel like there's no bright side. That 7 points off the playoff, 7 points off the relegation means you're kind of mid-table to lower, and it doesn't matter. Points don't matter right now. It's about the team playing well, and they're not. They're nowhere near it. The defense is not playing well. The keeper's not playing well. The attackers aren't creating really good chances. Occasionally we do, but then we don't put them back at net. Like, what do we do? Regardless of what the board have given Slav should be playing tactics based on the players we actually have, not the players he thought we would have. You're right. I'm not saying that last bit, but you are right. You're absolutely right. Because the thing is, if you brought Chris Wilder or Neil Warnock into a team like that, as Sam Allardyce, for instance, these sorts of managers, I know these managers, especially Sam Allardyce, are not necessarily going to play amazingly attractive football most of the time, but they know, they're experienced managers, and they know what they have to do to get their team playing well. Chris Wilder didn't start playing us in that three centre-backs, the overlapping centre-backs with 5-3-2. Chris Wilder didn't start that. Chris Wilder started with a 4-4-2, and he realised, I think that we'd defend better with three centre-backs and get the wing-backs bombing on. Slav is just going, right, this worked for Fulham, this worked for Watford. Let's just throw these players into this formation and they'll do well. They're not going to do well. They're not the right players for the system. Anyway, let's move on. Feels closer to League One than the playoffs right now. You're absolutely right, Lewis. Absolutely right. Norwood misses next game, so Connor will come in. Yeah, he will. That's difficult to hear. Adkins too. You could be right. You really could. 100% with you, mate. We're more towards relegation battle than a playoff fight. The way we're going at the moment. Imagine if Slav actually got wingers in the summit instead of the Bud. I don't think that. I don't really completely agree with that, Ash. I think he's got Morgan Gibbs-White and Dye were very, very good signings. Very good signings. And they're attacking midfielders, aren't they? They don't have to be wingers. You can play it in a very, very slightly different way. Instead of having a right and left winger, you can have right and left attacking midfielders and then one in the middle. That works for Slav. We've brought them two in. We possibly could have done with another quick attacking player. We just didn't get it, did we? And really, you can't, unless you know all the ins and outs, you can't really blame the board 100% unless you know all the ins and outs. First game since West Brom where I'm feeling like we're close to being class in the league. Not close to be. Yeah, completely agree. This is a very, very low point. In all honesty, this is a very low point. It's as low as I've been since the West Brom game, because we went from Blackpool first half where we absolutely tore them a new and we just couldn't score. We were fantastic that game. To this where we can't defend to save our lives. We're getting cut through at will, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't want to watch us. I really don't want to watch us. And really, I said this in my last match reaction, I think, that I watch football because I want to be entertained, like we all should. We shouldn't watch football just because we have to, and we do have to because it's our football team. But I want to watch Sheffield United, and I want to see us score goals, and I want to be entertained. And I don't want to turn up every week just hoping, not expecting, hoping. Because at the moment, that's all it is. It's like, Let's hope that Morgan 𝐍𝐶 has a good game. Let's hope that 𝐍𝐸 has a good game. Let's hope that we manage to actually create some chances. Let's hope that we don't let goals in the last 15 minutes. It's just hope rather than expectation at the moment. And it's embarrassing, and I'm sick of it, in all honesty. We have to score a minimum of 2 goals a game to win. Exactly. Very few clean sheets. I think Olsen's kept 1 clean sheet, and that's not all Olsen's fault, but it is a bit his fault. I normally stay positive, but it's getting harder and harder to keep the faith. It really is, mate. It really, really is. It's so tough right now. Worst I felt this season so far, everyone has dropped off. Even Egan has regressed massively. I completely agree. Egan has been poor of late. Basham has been better than Egan, and Egan's been playing all season. Basham's just come in for a couple of games. He's been out in the cold for such a long time, and he's showing Egan up right now for me. He really, really is. Oh. Proper lacking direction. I honestly can't work out Slav's tactics or decisions. I'm starting to completely believe it. Back to 3 centre-backs. It's got to be, Robert. It's got to be, mate. It can't be any other. He can't think that this is working. He can't. We can't be manager out already. Jesus, things haven't got off to an ideal start, but there are not. I'm not saying manager out. Not for a second. I think Slav's a very, very good manager. But at the moment, he's playing his formation and not our formation. Not the players, not the formation that the players have to play to get the most out of them. And he 100% needs to go back to 3 centre-backs. 100%. He did that. He's tinkered with it a few times right at the start of the season. And then it didn't work. It didn't work, whatever we did. But now, if we have 5 defenders, we can stop goals going in. We can. And now we've got the attackers like Morgan 𝐍𝐶, like 𝐍𝐸, like 𝐍𝐸. We can score goals, but we need to stop goals going in first. And it's not all Olsen's fault. It is the defence. They've just got to stand up and be countered and be like, yeah, we have made mistakes. We're not doing the right things. We are getting completely cut through. It's just not good enough. I'm sick of talking about it, to be honest. Thanks, Joachim. I appreciate that, mate. We seem to have lost our blade spirit. As soon as we concede, we don't seem to be able to regroup and fight back for a result. The Kop have been very quiet. That's a great point, that, John. Great point. And I said that, I think it was either last week or the week before, that it's the regrouping that's the problem. It's the fact that when we concede, it takes us 10 to 15 minutes just to get back playing how we were playing before. It knocks us for 6 every time we concede a goal. And we've been lucky this season that we haven't conceded and then conceded straight away again, or keep conceding, because we heads are down, we're playing backwards and sideways. Even the attacking players aren't taking chances and playing forwards and getting good balls into the box, not just shoddy balls. So, yeah, it's a struggle. It's going to be a struggle. And I think if Slav doesn't go back to 3 centre-backs, there's no chance of us doing anything this season. I don't think there's any chance anyway. But, yeah, we've got a lot more chance of being successful and actually keeping balls out of our net if we go 3 centre-backs. I think we've got to go back to basics. We've got to realise that this is not good enough. We need to stop conceding goals. And once we stop conceding goals, let's try and think about scoring goals then. Because the main thing, I know we've always said, I'd rather see us score, like with Slav being Slav, and this is his kind of how he plays football and how he manages teams, that, we want to win 5-4. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I'd rather win 5-4 than 1-0. I really would. But we're not scoring goals. We're not scoring enough goals. And we're certainly not defending well enough. So we need to go back to basics. Stop conceding goals, and then work on it from there. Anyway, Lewis, I think you might be right. I think he's way too stubborn to change things. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Sorry for ranting. I'm really, really apologetic for that, because I don't want to rant. I don't want to sit here and rant to you constantly. I want to talk about great games. I want to talk about goals. I want to be excited. I'm just not at the moment. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. And yeah, I'll see you next time.